Hello Cardfighters, welcome to Vanguard Central Academy. We got week 1 of the Shadow Paladin trial deck evolution. So we're going to take 2 Luard Trial decks, smush them together, see what we can do, take it over to the local tournament, and we'll get the tournament report right after we're done kind of mixing the deck, and we'll do that right now. It's not just going to be a list, we're going to kind of build it on the go. So just like last time, we don't have much of a choice in strides, so it's just going to be the 4 Carnivore Dragon. Not really complaining there. Carnivore is an amazing stride. Just going to get you those retire powers, and then the rest of our G zone is going to be some G Guardians just to help flesh it out so we're not at too big of a disadvantage. And just the standard Cray Elementals, our favorite, Agleam and Scryu, to give us some more defensive power to go along with the deck. So that's just going to be the simple stride zone. That's all we got when we get 2 trial decks. Grade 3s, we're obviously going to have 4 Luards. I mean, he is the mainstay of the trial deck. You gotta have 4 of him. So we're definitely going to play 4. And then the other options we have are Vladimir and this Crest Vicious Dragon. And I'm not really sure what I want to do here because Crest Vicious, pretty good. He's going to be a 14k attacker if you have Ritual. So like that's easy numbers. He's got an 11k base just in case you ride him. That's pretty good. Vladimir is also going to be a 14k attacker, but he's got the 10k base, which kind of hurts him. But he does have this nice Ritual skill. Ritual 3, you can just retire a unit and give him plus 4,000. So I think we're going to go with 4 Vladimirs. Just for that extra skill, the extra utility. If you really need to, you could just drop your whole hand to Vladimir, pump him up super big, and get a nice beat stick going there. So Vladimir, it's going to be, since he's also 14k attacker, so like the Crest Vicious Dragon's not actually going to be making much better numbers. So then let's just go ahead, we'll do the grade. I don't know if I want to maybe like drop a couple ratios. Yeah, that's we'll do it. So rather than running the 8 grade 3s, oh no, we do need to run 8 grade 3s. I was thinking, oh well, we'll cut some grade 3s, add more grade 1s, make Ritual a lot easier to use. But the issue with that is that there's no stride fodders that come in the trial decks. So getting that first stride that we really need is going to be hard. So I want the extra grade 3s there to help get that first stride. And then, if we can pick up some stride fodders, that would be pretty super. Alright, so with the grade 1s, we are obviously going to use those 4 perfect guards. Gotta have them. Defense is so good. And then we only really have 3 options. We got Knees, who's going to be a 9k when you place it. And then the ability to kind of shuffle it out and shuffle out the unit in front of it that it boosts and draw a card. That could be pretty useful, help fix your hand, add some consistency. We got Claw Through, 6k when it's placed you can give a unit 3k. That might help you hit some nice numbers there. Could be pretty good, and it's a Ritual 3, so we'll see how that goes. And then we got Killer Mew. Killer Mew is a 10k booster that can boost anything, which is really good because it's going to hit some strong numbers. But if you make it a 10k booster, you have to retire. Now it's important to note, you don't have to use the plus power ability and you won't have to retire it. So then you could time it right. And I think that's going to be really important. So just based on that, we're going to try to hit a decent grade 1 count just to get Ritual. Ritual decently easy, so I want to hit Knees because Knees could help us kill some grade 1s and hit Ritual faster. And then just because Killer Mew is a May ability, I think that's gonna let us bump Killer Mew up to the 4 rather than Claw Through, because Claw Through is only just gonna be giving that power just once. Killer Mew is gonna be on demand whenever you want it, and so we'll just do the 2 Claw Through, 4 Killer Mew, 4 Knees just to start it off. I'm debating taking down a grade 3 or maybe a grade 2 even, to add another Claw Through, but we'll see how that goes when we hit the grade 2s, which we'll just go into right now. Looking at the grade 2s, we have a couple options here. We have Leafall, we have a Special Interceptor, we have a 10k vanilla, and then we have Debbie here. So, Debbie Here's skill is you just discard a card, and if you have, more rear guards than your opponent, you could draw. So that's a nice drop and draw. It could activate Ritual easier. Pretty neat skill, but maybe not that useful. It's just really going to be a consistency skill, upping the consistency of their deck. So if we want that, that's what we'll choose. We had a 10k vanilla who's going to hit nice numbers with our 6ks. That could turn out to be potentially really powerful. And we got Special Interceptor, not much to say. It's important to note that there's no static 8k vanillas in this deck, so there's no way to keep it a constant 16k power. That could prove to be a big problem in this deck if it sticks around for a long time, which hopefully it won't, but we'll see if we decide to run it. And then lastly, we have Leofall, which is an 11k attacker when you have Ritual. So that's important. You could hit a 21 column with a Killer Muse. And it also has another skill, GB1, Soul Blast 1, choose another unit, retire it, and as long as that unit's in the same column, and then draw a card. So this is another cycling effect, kind of like Debbie Hero, but not quite so early. So I think a pretty obvious choice, just because of the numbers you're going to make with Killer Mew, is going to be Leofall. So we'll max that one out at 4. And then I think we'll go for the 10k vanillas. Again, we're just going to try to make this deck as consistent as we can. So that's just going to be able to hit the right numbers with all your 6k grade 1s. Boom, just like that. So we got 4 Leofall, 4 10k vanillas, and then we have 3, possibly 2 slots left for grade 2s, and it's either going to be the Special Interceptor or Debbie Hero. And I'm really tempted to use the Special Interceptor just because of how much extra value you get off of it. Like plus 10 shield when it intercepts. If they can't do anything about that, that's pretty good for you. And maybe, if they don't have a field, you could bump up the power with Carnivore. But, it's going to be really, really hard to take advantage of it, I think. Just because we don't have that many power boosts and stuff. Like, maybe we just want the consistency of Debbie Hero. That's a tough one. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go with the Special Intercept. I want to go with the Special Interceptor just to get that extra value, get that extra, oomph that we need in the defense zone. But that card control, the card filtering is looking pretty neat. So I am really lost. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you think I made the right choice. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with. Alright, so I have decided that I'm gonna take out the AK Vanilla. I'm gonna go with the consistent option. I'm gonna grab 2 Debbie Heroes, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that last slot, put it back into grade 1s, and add another claw through. So we're going to run 10 grade 2s, 15 grade 1s, and 8 grade 3s. Again, we need the grade 3s just to make striding a little bit more consistent. I want the extra grade 1 just to help us get Ritual faster. Debbie Hero is going to help us get Ritual faster. And then the 10Ks to help hit numbers with our 6Ks after they've been sitting there, haven't been using their abilities. And then Leofall's kind of do the same thing. So we're just trying to try to stay consistent with our numbers as much as we can. And that's kind of what we're going. The last thing we have to look at is going to be the triggers. Obviously, we only have one choice for starter. That's going to be Root. He's going to help power something up. Give an extra boost in power. Hopefully that'll help close out games some. Alright, but then triggers are tricky. For triggers, we have 4 draws. We have 2 different draws available to us. We only have 1 crit available to us. And we only have 1 stand available to us. And then we have to use the 4 heal triggers. So heal triggers, they have to be mandatory. They're just too good. We do have G Guardians. We don't have the full 4, but We really need the heal triggers to help stay in the game, especially, you know, with a not too swagged out deck. We gotta take the critical triggers. Critical triggers just so good. So good. Gotta take the critical triggers. And then it's kind of a crapshoot, you know. Do we want a lot of draw triggers? Do we want stand triggers, help with offense, but do we really have any good stand targets? I don't know. But if we run 8 draws, we're going to deck out too fast. So what I'm thinking is we'll take 3 stand triggers just to keep people on their toes, and then go with 5 draw triggers. And we're going to use the Howl Owls to help keep Soul, help us filter a little bit with Leofall, and also its effect is going to give units extra power, which is going to make the stand triggers a little bit more active. So that's going to be our deck. It's going to be the 4 crit triggers, 5 draw triggers, 3 stand triggers, and 4 heal triggers. And that's basically it. I'm pretty excited to play it. I'm really iffy about the trigger lineup. Trial decks tend not to give the best. I mean, the last one was a lot better. The Gold Paladin start deck, we got to use 8 crit for stand. But this kind of heavy draw build is probably what we'll see from a lot of the other trial decks that are getting Margot clones, aka the draw trigger that goes in the soul and gives +3. But regardless, pretty excited to try out the deck. We'll see how it goes at locals this weekend, and I'll be back with a tournament report right now. So I'll see you with the tournament report. So anyways, just a quick tournament report and a brief overview of the deck. Round 1, I played against Nova Grapplers. 10k Vanilla was really useful in that matchup, and the opponent sometimes, I think he was either new to the deck or new to the game. He didn't know all the combos. He wasn't guarding like the best he could have guarded, and so I think the combination of that. So that really is what got me the game. 10k Vanillas were good just to get some easy defense. Carnivore was absolutely amazing. Nova Grappler was trying not to commit too early, or if he committed early, I would swing at his rear guards, and then he'd have only a couple rear guards left by the time I strided. I'd do Carnivore, it would hit his starter and another unit that he called, so it was pretty brutal. And then I just kept getting advantage from Luard and striding Carnivore and popping his rear guards, and kind of just snowballed the game from there, basically both times. Then we played against Scare Chronicle. That was a doozy. We got game 1 because he got like a pretty bad hand, and I just punished him super hard. And then game 2 was like somewhat close, and game 3 I think I got a grade 3. And then it was like, wow, can't do anything now. So that's pretty much how the round 2 went. So that was a 1-1. And then round 3, I played against Gear Chronicle again. I was like, no. But game 1, our luck prevailed. The Gear Chronicle player got not that great a hand, so we were able to rush really hard, push her to 6 damage, and then she miracle healed, and then like went on this crazy turn, drawing all the cards, doing all the multi-attacks, and like brought herself back into the game. It was crazy. But we were still just a little bit too far ahead, and we were able to press that game out. And then game 2, the opponent stayed on grade 1 for an extra turn, couldn't really do much, wanted to get that first stride advantage. That ended up being the downfall because I was able to call a full field and just punish really hard from that. And obviously I made the field able to hit good numbers on the next turn as well. So just facing those 3 full column attacks both for 2 turns in a row was like put her on the back foot far too much, and I was able to close out the game. So that's 2-1 now, and then obviously we lost the last match. We played against Aquaforce. Again, the 10k was really strong there. I was able to pop some rear guards with Carnivore. The first game I got kind of just totally destroyed because they were playing Blue Wave and they're just more efficient than me. They used the crits on the Tetra Ball turn, restanding, drawing cards. It was not good news. I did make a little misplay. I could have used knees to sacrifice my front row so that he couldn't swing into it with Tidal Assault, and then restand it, and then get those extra attacks in on Vanguard with the higher power, right? So then he gets the restand. But then if he attacks Vanguard first, he's forced to waste the restand and lose the power. So that's really unfortunate that I didn't think about that, but we learn. And then game 2, it was kind of the same thing, but as it will stay in the game longer, just pressure his resources with Carnivore Dragon, attacking rear guards, and getting some triggers. Obviously, we needed some good trigger luck on that day to do as well as we did. So we ended up 2-2, not super unhappy, really enjoyed playing the deck, and I've got ideas for what to do, as far as upgrades. So we'll kind of talk about that and like what the star players were in the deck. Carnivore Dragon was obviously awesome. Having more G Guardians would be nice, but I don't know if we'll have the budget for that. I'm trying to go for $10 a week. If you guys are new to this series, I'm trying to add $10 a week to these decks and see how far we can take them within a week or two. I think I only did 1 week with the Gold Paladin start deck, but I gave it a little extra money because of that. But I'm thinking this deck is probably going to be a week. It might just be the next week, week 2, and then we'll see from there because I'm not sure how much we'll be able to update after that. Anyway, so the starter. Let's talk about the starter really quick. The starter was really good. I liked making the power columns. Being able to make some good numbers was really nice. But I really didn't like that I use a counterblast. We have no ways to unflip in this deck. So the fact that it's a counterblast and it actually really hurt. We couldn't. It really limited how long we could keep using Luard's effects to get advantage. So having that one counterblast kind of hurt. So we're probably going to change the starter. Grade 1s. Knees was much better than I expected. I've been kind of hating on this card with my friend group. But I'll give it some more credit now. Just being able to convert cards into your hand on a key defensive turn, that can really, help swing the tide in your favor. Being able to live a turn you just need to live through, and then you can get the next game. Killer Mew was not that useful. I should mention, before the tournament, I think I had 4 Killer Mews. I took out 1 for Claw Through, just because the plus 3k ability seemed to be much more relevant in making power numbers and things, and Killer Mew was kind of like more of like a late game, I'm going to finish you off right now, or I need the extra power right now, just in case. And so I ended up going with 4 Claw Through and 3 Killer Mew, unlike I said before I played. But Killer Mew is like pretty not spectacular during the tournament. I almost never used the effect because it was really hard to make numbers, make the good numbers. Some good things I was able to do was make a 16k column. That's pretty useful. But out of the grade 1s, Knees was definitely the best just for being a 7k booster, and the plus 2 was a bit relevant because I could call 2 and make a 16k column. So it was just good for hitting those numbers, and the ability was somewhat relevant for converting some of the grade 3s back into the hand for shield value. So that's kind of my thoughts on the grade 1s. I'll probably keep Knees and Claw Through. It depends. I'm thinking about changing up the grade ratios a lot. I've seen a lot of low grade 3 count Luard decks, and I think that's probably the way to go. Just get as much early advantage as you can. So I'd like to replace some of these 6k bodies, make them 7k bodies, and we'll see from there. I've already got my ideas, but we'll see how the budget lasts, right? Okay, so grade 2s were they were okay. I almost never use Leofall, and the fact that he's 11k was only marginally useful. Just being able to attack unboosted, that was nice sometimes, but sometimes when I wanted it, I didn't have Ritual, so I couldn't even attack for the 11k, so that was pretty bad. Debbie Hera was okay. It was really nice to fix my hand sometimes. I had extra draw triggers that I wanted to get rid of. I could just drop that to her. It was good after using. It's pretty easy to activate the fact after you use Carnivore or something, so you could like kind of filter a little bit and try to set up a good field again. 10K was probably the best one. It prevented me from getting rushed, and it was useful just to kind of like have it stick around. Obviously, it was able to make some numbers when you combine it with like a called knees and then calling a claw through. That +3 over on that column will make it like 22. That was useful. Yeah, it was like, but it was probably the best one, just being able to kind of hold off my opponents a little bit in the early game, and so that way I could get to stride and I could actually make my deck useful, since Ritual, you usually don't really get it going until after the first stride. And so that's like the grade 2s. I have some ideas I want to try out in the mains. Basically something to give me some extra advantage. I think that would be the most effective way to do things. And then lastly, the grade 3s. Really the only thing that mattered for the grade 3s was that they were 11k, that I could make a 21k column with this 14k attacker, and obviously that he's lured. But since I am thinking about dropping down to a lower grade count, grade 3 count, we'll see how that goes. I'll probably be dropping some number of these to make that happen. But Luard is obviously amazing. I didn't get to use the like kind of burst kill thing that much because I played against Gears. I could have been able to do it, but then I was like, oh, she has a heal trigger, so if I like dump my whole hand into Vladimir to pump him up, then she'll just header around it, and then I'll just have wasted my whole hand for nothing. So that was really unfortunate. I never got to use this skill, but I do think just the ability to make those 21s was really good. The other issue being that it was so hard to make 21s when all my grade 1s were 6k. I basically was always calling out knees just because it was a 7k, not really because of its effect or anything. So that's pretty much it for the deck. My thoughts on it after week 1. I'm pretty excited to go into week 2. So tune next week to catch the updated, and then once we've updated it, we'll go over a tournament report again. Thanks for watching. Just gotta shout out all the patrons on Patreon. There will be a link in the end slate coming up. It'll be the nice P if you want to go over and check that out. I would really appreciate it. They just help support the content, keep it coming, that kind of thing. And make sure you're subscribed for more of these trial deck evolutions, ruling questions, random tips and tricks, things like that. I hope you enjoyed the video again. Thanks for watching. Keep on learning. Keep on having fun. I'll see you in another video.